Hey, this is McComas. I'm coming to you from my house again where I am self-quarantining to try and stay away from the coronavirus. But I wanted to share with you another way that I use my golden mean calipers to resize bodies to get the correct proportion. So in my artwork right now, I'm doing a big piece to celebrate the 100th anniversary of women getting a right to vote, the suffragette movement, the movement to find equality for women. So I have lots of figures from that movement. Previously, I told you about creating my Hillary Clinton, who just came apart. Tonight, and on my piece, next to her, I want Susan B. Anthony. The problem with finding a great picture of Susan B. Anthony is that she was sitting down a lot. Oftentimes you only have the head and shoulders shot of her. And I want Susan B. Anthony circa 1948. That's when the Seneca Falls Convention was held. And at that point in time, she was 28 years old. Lots of pictures of her in her older life, but I want a young Susan B. So I found the head, I printed that off, and I found a body. This is a woman wearing a dress that was typical for 1948. So I'm secretly calling this my, or I guess not so secretly now, my Frankenstein series, because what I'm doing is collecting body parts from lots of photographs and putting them together to get the image that I want. So I've got Susan B's head, but when I put her on this dress, I hope it's obvious to you, it's too big. So I need to look at how to resize this. I'm going back to my drawing about body proportions that I got out of Andrew Loomis's book on successful drawing. Right? So I've actually printed the page that I'm reusing. And what I can show you is a new golden ratio that occurs in the body. And that's this. If I put the top point at the top of the head and the bottom point at the waist, I can see that the interior point points right here to that little cup at the top of the sternum. Little cup at the top of the sternum,
okay.
Right? So I'm going to use this measurement. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take a look at Susan's head and measure it from the top of her head to a little bit lower than this picture because it doesn't quite come down to where her sternum is. I'm going to open this up and get that there. And then I'm going to bring it over and measure it. Again, I've worn off the numbers. I can see them, but they're not dark enough you will. And what I see is the size of her head is 2.75 inches. So I'm going to write that down, 2.75. And then I'm going to go to measure how big the measurement from her sternum to her waist should be. And that measurement comes out to be just at 4 inches, right? I'm going to go back and measure my original dimensions in this picture and then take those over to the ruler. And what I see is it comes out at about 3¼ inches. So I need to take this portion of the picture and expand it from 3¼ to 4 inches. And that's an increase of 3/4 of an inch, or decimally speaking, 0.75. To figure this out on my calculator, I take the amount of increase, 0.75 inches, and I'm going to divide it by my original measurement, which was 3.25 inches. And when I do the math on that, I hit equals, I get 0.23. And I'm going to change that from a decimal to a percent by multiplying by 100. So it becomes 23%. I now take my photograph of the dress, I put it back down on my printer, and I set the printer to enlarge to 123%. Not 23% because that will shrink it down. I need 100% plus 23 more in order to make it large enough. And because I don't have the freedom to go out to my print shop, I'm printing on lots of little pieces of paper and taping it together, but I can show you this is what I came up with. You can see how that compares to the original. And now, when I put Susan B's head on the top of this body, it's much better proportion. All right, so now Susan B is ready to take her place next to Hillary. Right. So it's one more way that you can use a measurement of the human body using the Golden Mean calipers. If you don't have these, I really recommend it. It will always, you can open and close these calipers, but they will, I'll show you here on white paper, they will always give you two measurements that are in golden ratio or golden proportion to each other. I do sell these on my website if you're looking for a set of calipers, and that's at McComas.com. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks.